Hello everybody and welcome back to another show of Learn by Play here on the D&D channel. We're in Canon Roleplay Crew and we're here back again for another episode. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon and I'm back with a full cast and crew today. A slightly altered crew in fact. Tool Squall is not with us today, only in spirit. He'll be back next week of course. But instead we have with us a certain Lindy. Lindy, how are you doing?
I am doing super spiffy. Hyped to be here tonight, playing with this awesome group of people who I haven't played with some of them in quite some time. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to be playing Alora Deepshaft, the half-elf bard raised by dwarves, and it's going to be real fun.
Great stuff, can't wait. We also have back with us Sydney. Sydney, how you doing?
I am good. I'm a little bit stressed. I'm in the midst of finals week. I'm trying real hard to play D&D and do some schoolwork. It's getting a little bit difficult, but I'm really excited to be here today and kind of blow up some steam and just play some games. So I'm Sydney, and I'm going to be playing Farron Hulling. She's a half-sun elf arcane archer.
Great stuff, and we also have Greg back with us tonight. Greg, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, my friend. I cannot wait. We are back on Wizards of the Coast, doing a little D&D, doing a little reinvention of the realms on Learn by Play. I will be playing Zephyr, my Air Genasi barbarian. We are in it thick. Let's figure out where we go from here. Let's play.
Let's do it. And last but not least, we have Chelsea with us tonight. Chelsea, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have been moving my stuff all day into a new apartment, so things are exciting and also chaotic. So yeah, I am excited to be sitting here about to roll some dice with you guys. I'm gonna be bringing back Rufus Bigby, our human monk. He's since his last two, I guess, levels up. He is a Sun Soul monk and has tapped into his light powers. He's a rather large man, soft, kind of, at heart like a teddy bear, but large of stature.
Like a big teddy bear that can shoot sun rays out
right,
of his
from his forehead.
Yeah. Really badass teddy bear. Great stuff. So, alrighty guys, what happened last week on the show as we dive into today's episode? Of course, Learn by Play. We do actual play and, of course, take moments away from the game to do a couple of D&D lessons, some DM tips, and this season is focused on world building as we reinvent the Forgotten Realms as we go. Last week, the party found themselves in the mystical land of Avalon. This is a place where all the mages hide away all of their secrets from the rest of society. It's their own pocket dimension which keeps them safe from monsters and hordes of undead and, of liches as well, including Valindra Shadowmantle, who is currently following the party through to Avalon on the hunt for something that the mages hide within. They met with the Archmage there, Stormfingers, who is probably not one of the best mages you've ever met. He was very lackluster in his care for Avalon, and he's one of only 3 or 4 people who's actually stayed behind in Avalon. He told the rest of the party that the other mages went to Chult to help with the Death Curse and have not been seen since, which is of grave concern to the rest of the party. They went around with the help of High Mage, Esmeralda, who's helping lead the 93 or so children from the College of Mages in Neverwinter to safety. They went around the different towers to make sure that the gates of Avalon would be kept safe. They met Archmage Casimir along the way, who told them that his work particularly deals with liches and defeating them and finding their phylacteries. He also told them that the Dark Arcanum within Avalon was a place that the party needed to go if they were to find Asarak's phylacteries and where they were, because he, quite reasonably, seems to believe that while the Death Curse was lifted, while the Soulmonger was destroyed, Asarak's true form will recorporate at some point soon, and that is what Valindra Shadowmantle is here for. She's looking to find where those phylacteries are and where she can serve her master once again. So the party were on a race to get there before them. They had a fight with a Archmage named Orman, a Fire Mage, and it was only through the tremendous skill and little bit of good luck of Farron that they managed to banish High Mage Orman away from this place. And it takes about 24 hours to teleport into Avalon, so once he was out of here, he's not going to be back for a little while, buying the party a lot of time. Finally, they spoke with Archmage Candice. She is a kind of divination wizard, soothsayer, and she saw the party coming long before they ever actually arrived here, and she's seen her own death arriving as well, in the form of Valindra Shadowmantle, a lich who is shortly to appear here. Candice told them that while Casimir is a crazy, creepy guy who's fascinated with the undead, he isn't wrong. It is very possible that Asarak will return to this world, and it really just means that the party are going to have to find those phylacteries and destroy them before he can do, and or before Valindra Shadowmantle can get to them as well. So they're going to head to this Dark Arcanum and figure it out. At the end of our episode, we saw that Valindra Shadowmantle and her hordes of undead were arriving in Avalon, and it's only a matter of time that she breaks down and batters through the gates and defeats Candice, who has seen her own death coming in this matter. All she hopes to do is hold Valindra off long enough for the party to get to the Dark Arcanum, find out where they can find these phylacteries, and it'll be fine. So that's the plan. Of course, we have a new contestant joining the arena today, and we'll get to that in just a moment here. So, if you guys have questions, our questions in chat, we'll try and get to them. We'll take moments away as well, where you guys can ask some questions in a little bit. But anything other than that, let's just dive right into this game. So, Farron, Rufus, Zephyr, Miguel is there with you, but for the purposes of Tool School being away, he's not going to be too active today. And Candice is there and says, "You must go. There is little time left. Head to the Dark Arcanum, find Casimir, and find those phylacteries."
Yes, ma'am, Rufus says. If we do what she says, she sees the future.
And Will, she was going to teleport or dimension door us there, correct?
That's right. She, I believe, at the end of the last episode, has opened up the portal, and you guys are just about to walk through it.
Right. Well, anybody wants to go first? All right, then. And Rufus steps up and just steps right on in.
Rufus is free.
Zephyr went through last week, so he's going to maintain that, and as he goes through, he's going to ask what he asked her last week: is my father coming? And she responded that he was. So then he walks through.
Cool. The bunch of you go through, and you find yourselves outside outside of Casimir's tower. Casimir appears to be having a heated conversation with some kind of half-elf lady. Lindy, would you mind introducing Alora?
Alright, Alora is a red-headed half-elf bard. She's dressed very promiscuously. She has some bagpipes kind of slung over her shoulder, and she probably has got her hands on her hips. She's pretty curvy, but she seems to be speaking with a slight dwarvish accent hint in her voice, which if she notices it coming up, she'll probably try to keep it down a little bit, but definitely in this heated argument, it's full-on, barely Scottish sounding, and yeah, she's generally looks more bemused probably than angry, but is still fairly heated, that red-headed temper, though.
Casimir is this old man with very few teeth, who looks every bit the classic necromancer, really. You haven't have seen him actually raising anything, but he kind of smells of death and decay, and he's got a lot of experiments around here that certainly look a little bit on the the darker side of the magical spectrum. And he's like, I don't care if Esmeralda sent you here. I don't need anyone else.
Look, I'm supposed to help find these phylacteries in the Dark Arcanum. It's what I'm here to do. I came all the way from Waterdeep to do this. You think I'm not going to turn around now? I'm going in.
I don't... listen, if you must come... Oh. And he looks, and the others have appeared in the portal.
Hello.
Oh, it's you again. Good, you're back. She's here, Valindra. Outside.
She's already here?
Yes, outside. There'll be some time, remember?
Right.
Has to get through the gate first. And Candice will be holding her back, apparently. She sent me a message. Always love hearing from Candice.
She's a nice lady.
He says this very sarcastically.
Oh, Rufus was not being sarcastic.
I picked up on that.
Master Casimir, have you heard from Stormfingers?
I haven't. He hasn't sent me any messages. Should I send one to him? I hate messaging people. I hate group messages too. They're the worst. He's always
You can take.
that Stormfingers. He's always roasting me in the group chats.
Yes, he's a bit of a curt fellow. Did you say? And Rufus points at Alora. That's how you say it, right, Alora? He says, I don't mean to eavesdrop or nothing, but did you say you was here to go to the Dark Arcanum?
Yes, that is what I said. Are you as well looking for it?
That's where we're supposed to head. With did Candace say she was going, or are we supposed to? I wasn't really listening. To be fair, I didn't really like Candace that much. She was not all that.
Well, she said that she was sending us back here to see, what's his name?
Casimir.
Casimir. Yes, I knew that. We was coming to see you because you know how to get us in too.
Look, there's not any time. Come with
Master
me.
Casimir, we know we have to go to the Arcanum, but Aurum is at best insane. Worst, he's working with Valinda Shadowmantle. Is there any way that you can go and ensure that his door is closed?
Never easy, is it? Fine. He creates a portal himself and comes back about 15 seconds later. Such a mess in there. You didn't kill him, did you?
No, I fired a magical arrow at him and banished him to a harmless place in the Feywild. And he was supposed to come back in about 10 minutes, but he did not.
The Feywild. Gross. I was hoping that pile of ash on the floor was him.
Oh, well, we'll get there one day.
One step at a time, right?
Come with me. The
Ferris did
entrance,
teach me that.
the entrance to the Dark Arcanum is inside my chambers. And he leads you inside.
Okay. It follows.
For going
Yeah.
into someone's chambers.
I'm Rufus, by the way. As we walk towards his chambers, I introduce myself.
She will do a sweeping bow, grab your hand, plant a kiss on it. Alora,
Oh.
it's a pleasure to meet you.
He holds it. I'm Rufus. Big B. This is Zephyr and Farron.
She'll walk over to Farron and repeat the gesture.
Yeah.
And then she'll walk over to Zephyr and kind of
Who is walking and following Casimir and pays her no mind.
He's like that. He'll say hey when he's ready.
It
interesting.
takes a little bit of time.
Well, what is a wonderful group of highly attractive people such as yourselves doing, looking for the Dark Arcanum?
Farron will whisper over to Rufus and be like, she acts like she used to be in the circus as well. She's very, entertainery.
She makes me hot. I'm sweating. I don't know why.
Well, Rufus, to be fair, a lot of things make you sweaty.
It's
Are
true.
you sure you're not sick or something?
I don't think so. No, I'm feeling low. Hi, I'm Rufus, and he starts again, almost on repeat, as he gets nervous, trying to make small talk conversation with her.
He's going over the lines that he knows work.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Rufus,
Rufus.
Bigby. They call me Tiny. That's all I
Oh,
got.
do they?
Rufus and I, we used to be in the circus together, and Rufus was a strong man, and I did a bunch of tricks and things, and then now we're here because we did some.
Our name was on a piece of paper.
She's kind of just nodding along and walking with them to get them to follow, and being like, "Oh, that's right, interesting there. It's a pleasure to meet you, Tiny. Do you prefer Tiny or Rufus?"
You can call me whatever you want. I'll answer yes to
All
it.
right.
He I feel like he trips at one point, like stumbles over his feet, like watching you. Yeah. How far is this chamber? He says out loud.
We've been here for 5 minutes. Haven't been paying me any attention now. Listen. Yes.
Mr. Casimir, would you happen to have like a wet cloth or something? Because Rufus is starting to profusely sweat, and I'm getting really worried about him. If you could maybe just give him something to wipe it off of his forehead, it's getting all over his third eye.
Third eye can't see. Ridiculous.
Did wonder if it was hot in here. Here is the broom, and he kind of like hands you like a mop.
Rufus begins like patting himself down.
This old man just starts mopping your forehead.
And then top of my bald spot.
Oh, look at you, Rufus. You're all polished up now.
Yep.
From outside, the group of you can hear that the sounds of combat has ensued. The sounds of magical battle has ensued, and it sounds like a series of concussions of like thunder waves are being cast against one of the gates. And were you to look outside from the window, you would see that all dressed in white. Archmage Candace is repelling and firing spells down upon a horde of undead that are beginning to climb up the walls of Avalon, and the black magic is being used to just destroy and batter down the gate. She's holding them off for now, but it probably really is only a matter of time before this, veritable horde of undead are upon you all.
Oh.
Now, if you would like to listen to me and stop your inane gibberings, this here is the entrance to my Dark Arcanum. Well, it's not mine, but I like to think so. He slides away a very old, musty-looking rug, and beneath it are a series of steps which lead down into darkness. If you would like to follow me...
I thought there would be a much more complicated entrance to this.
Well, this is only the entrance to the entrance. There is far more below. And he kind of makes a mystical-looking hand sign.
Oh, okay.
Is it real dark?
It's
Some
real dark.
light would be nice.
He casts a light cantrip on his on his head.
That works. All right. Zephyr, you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's down we go.
Very well. He leads you down these steps as a group of you descend, and you end up walking down the staircase, probably at a bit of a hurried clip, knowing that the fight is taking place above. But maybe it takes you about 2 or 3 minutes to get down here. And when you do, you see a huge circular stone door in front of you, upon which are carved hundreds of magical sigils and runes, and they look to be infused with a glowing green magic, which looks very earthly. And at the same time, this place looks incredibly old as well. It's like you're walking into a tomb down here. And Casimir kind of gestures towards it in front of you. Look, there is the entrance. But to gain entrance, you must all speak to the gatekeeper of the Arcanum. He must judge you worthy to enter. I, of course. Well, I know I am. I've been here many times, but for a group of you, you must all be judged. He will be here. Beware the gatekeeper. He is a creature old to this world, sinned much, and knows more about the being Asarak than, well, even I do. And you watch as Casimir turns invisible.
Oh. Oh. Well,
and disappears.
so do we take a number? We just wait?
I would have thought he could have given us sort of like a reference or something to give us a better shot at getting in here.
Right, like a name. Like we could drop a name, like a code word or something. Like
Or like a
toothless.
password.
And real
Can
good friends of
Alora-
Esmeralda.
Get the runes and the sigils carved onto the.
Yeah, you can run me an
Wall.
Arcana check, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh. I tried.
Oh, when Zephyr gets a moment, as we see that Alora is going up and like looking at the sigils and the runes on the door, he saddles up next to Farron and says, "We're just trusting this one. She shows up and we're trusting her."
Well, I'm not sure we're 100% trusting her just yet. I think maybe look at it as if she's just, here and we're not killing her.
Should we take turns watching her? Like one of us behind her. If she does anything, we just like kill her from behind.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I
You
mean,
want me to go
she's
first?
nice enough. And I do think if we kill her, Rufus might be a little bit upset. So
I'd
if you
rather the big man be upset than dead.
That's true. So if you do end up killing her, just make sure you got a really good reason to tell Rufus, so he's not too sad for a really long time. Because you know how that happens if Rufus gets really sad for a really long time. You know how he can't get out of bed. He can't even eat his soup. So
Not know any of that, but I'll take your word for it.
A green mist begins to seep into the area, mostly around the floor, and it seems to be coming from the door. Alora, you can't really make out what these runes are, but they are something very old, clearly magical. You're not sure
Old
which
magic.
Yeah, you're not sure which school this is, but this isn't anything you've ever seen before. It's not really like bardic magic. You got some some young, pretty hip spells. This is like granddad spells.
All right.
Or like great granddad spells.
Equivalent of dad jokes.
Yeah.
This
This
is the
is
stuff
pretty
my
powerful.
father would have cast. Right. She's gonna pull out like a little notebook, maybe write down a couple of the more interesting looking runes to make a mental note for later. Stick it back down.
Rufus like leans over your shoulder and goes, "My goodness, you write a lot. Are you smart? You're super smart, aren't you?"
Well, I don't like to brag. That is the wrong accent again. I am. I'm sorry. I'm used to performing. You see, all sorts of places. You usually try to blend in with different accents and stuff.
Well, maybe you can impress this here scary judgment that's coming.
Yes. So if I want to sound smart, I'll talk like this, and I feel like we should
Oh.
sound smart here, so I will speak like this from now on.
Oh,
Yes. I'm a bard by trade. I travel a lot. I've been in many places for quite some time. And, well, this is something I must do, is this dark arcanum business.
Rufus is like just
Zephyr
amazed.
Zephyr whispers to Farron, "This isn't going to be easy when I kill her."
I know. You get so attached so quickly. See, that's how he ended up in the circus in the first place, because the first people that walked along and tried to give him some food, he just was like, "Oh, I love you," immediately. Really needs to work on this. It worked out well for us because I'm a nice person. It works out well that we became best friends and everything. But, I would like to feel special. I'd like to feel like Rufus just didn't fall in love with me immediately like he does with everyone else. I'd like to feel like we have some sort of unique friendship connection. I rubbed thigh oil on the man, for God's sakes. I'd like to feel like we have a unique connection.
Zephyr looks like he's being jabbed by a boxer as Farron continues this barrage. And finally, in an effort to maybe reach forward and extend an olive branch to Farron, he says, "Well, you're a hell of an archer. I trust you with my back."
She finally stops going on this tirade, and she's like, "Well, thank you. That means a lot to me, Zephyr. I'm sorry. I've just been kind of, stressed with all the things that have been going on lately, and
Right. It's,
Did you say that there was? Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, well, did you say there was like steam coming out from the door?
Miss, yeah, we both were like,
We're
maybe
all
we
dead.
should deal with the green mist around our feet.
You're all dead.
All dead. All of us.
Will, as he finishes his line to Farron, he takes a deep inhale and he uses unending breath
Yeah.
and breathing.
Yeah, it's not actually like getting it towards your mouth or your lungs. It really is kind of on your feet, like a
Fog machine.
like a fog machine for a band, or
Yeah.
And pretty much as Zephyr finishes saying that, you hear this huge rumble of stone, and you look towards the shuddering monolith that is the circular doorway as it slides open very slowly. And torturously, and it reveals behind it that there are figures stepping out from that darkness. Two of them on either side of the figure in the front appear to be very old and possibly undead by the looks of things. They have an aura of death and decay around them. They have no faces, only really long backs, which are like stooped over themselves, almost in a tortured way, and they cowls upon them, dark robes upon them, and you can barely make out a face beneath that mass of darkness. From more of the green mist, there steps another figure, once again in robes, but these robes don't appear to be nice, fine robes whatsoever. They are old, almost like a mummy's robes, as though this person's been in, a tomb for hundreds, thousands of years. And it's humanoid, but clearly not human. You make out an old, shriveled green face, and the hands are kind of wrinkly, and don't have real fingers at the end of them so much as they do sort of like webbed fingers, I suppose. Walks of a stoop, potentially from the age, but you notice that behind those robes it's not just like a hunch. It looks like it's a shell of some kind of sea creature that it walks upon this thing's back, part of its living material. Although this creature does indeed look quite dead. And you realise after a moment or two that you're looking at an ancient, desiccated turtle. Creatures often seen around Chult. Anyone that's visited there, very least you would have heard of them, if not maybe seen one. They can live to be quite old, but this one looks far older than anyone you've seen before. Steps out from the gate and croaks out, Who are you? Why do you approach the Dark Arcanum?
Zephyr, you want to take this one? I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking.
No, well, I'm not really. It's more like the peacock's job, but all right.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
Kind of scrambling
Laura
with
will
it.
step up. She's gonna see like the whispering back and forth, and Rufus just like staring at her, and she's gonna be like, she will step forward. She goes, "My name is Lord Deepshaft. This is Zephyr. This is Farron. This is Rufus Bigby. We are here to gain entrance to the Dark Arcanum to find the phylacteries of Asarak."
It's true.
Yeah.
Why do you seek Asarak? That name is not one I have heard in some time, nor ever wish to hear again.
It's time for him to leave this place for good.
How do I know that you are not seeking his power? How do I know you will not seek to transplant yourselves into such a position?
Well, we're actually here to save it from the one person who does want to do that, who is coincidentally right outside.
Yes, we are very inclined to rather just destroy these phylacteries if at all possible, remove them from those who wish to misuse them, and, keep the world safe, keep it turning.
Very
If
well.
it means anything, I don't have any interest in his powers.
Yes. Also, I don't think you cast magic. You might cast a little bit, I don't know, and I'm not sure about you yet. And she's gonna point to Zephyr. I cast magic, but lichdom is just so unattractive.
Right. Very well. If you seek to protect the world, then I can lead you where the knowledge lies. And yet, the Dark Arcanum will test you, and may take something from you in return.
Take something. Take like what?
Part of you. Part
We
of
have
your
some money.
knowledge.
Oh.
The Arcanum does not care for money, trinkets, or gold. Magic is what it seeks, what it desires.
I've got none of that.
Oh,
Well,
but I sense that you do.
Like covers the tattoo on his forehead that's probably lightly glowing.
Behind that sweaty eye lies true magic.
And so if we go in here, we're gonna lose it?
Mayhap you will, mayhap you won't.
mayhap, Master Turtle, if Valindra's Shadow Mantle comes down those stairs and seeks entry into the Dark Arcanum, will you provide her with a buffer for us inside? Will you guard it as you are guarding it now?
I will guard it against Asarak's minions as I guarded it in life. Of course.
Then let me ask you a question, Master Turtle. If we are here, and Valindra's Shadow Mantle, who works for Asarak, a minion, apprentice, whatever you want to call it, or devotee, if she appears and we are left here to question and barter with the Dark Arcanum, we need through now. Time is of the essence.
There is no other way. The Arcanum does not entreat. It is what it is, as they say. So, you may enter. I will hold her as long as I can. But she was strong before. Stronger now than when I faced her before. I pass. Each of you must come individually.
You know, I'm thinking that if maybe she just went into the Dark Arcana, maybe it would take her magic away from her and all of our problems would just be solved.
That is not how it works.
Well, that's sort of the impression that you gave me by the way you described it.
Is it like sacrifices something? It's more like we got to give it.
You will be judged. It may be knowledge. It may be a part of your magic. Maybe an item that you carry. Something you possess. Or it could be something far more than that. Each of you
Well-
will be judged. It is not about sacrifice. It is about learning.
Well, there is nothing that I own or have that is worth more than keeping the world safe. So you can sign me up.
Very well then, Rufus Bigby. Come with me first.
Okie dokie.
Zephyr puts a hand on Rufus's shoulder as he passes by. Go get it, big man.
It's gonna be fun, right? Tell me it's gonna be okay.
Better than all right.
I'm gonna see you just on the other side, right?
I'm glad you're going first. I'll be right behind you.
All right. Rufus waddles along behind him.
Rufus, you step on through to the gate, and the gatekeeper encourages you to step on further into darkness until you disappear from sight from the rest of the party. Who will be next?
Zephyr, did you want to follow Rufus?
It's up to you, Farron. If you want to follow him, maybe I should go last.
I mean,
I'll be behind everyone else.
alright, okay, I guess I'll... Okay. Hi.
Good luck.
He puts his hand on Farron's shoulder too.
Catch up to him. We'll all be together on the other side.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just gonna go through it. Oh, Rufus is right. It is hot in here. After that.
The turtle watches you unblinkingly, and as you step through into the darkness, Farron 2 disappears from sight. Who will
Laura
be
will
next?
Sidle up next to Zephyr, kind of like lean into him a little bit. So, are you going next or shall I?
Oh, I think you should.
Alright, she'll give him a wink and then, very much in a show, saunter off through the portal.
Delora disappears through. It's not necessarily a portal, it's just sort of darkness that you've all walked into and then you kind of get out of sight, yeah. After you're at like 60 feet or so, loads of you dark vision lose sight of Rufus and Farron, and then it's just Zephyr left. And then you.
Well, Master Turtle, I guess this is it then. May I ask your name before I leave?
There are no use for names down here anymore.
I just wanted to know who to toast a drink to when I get to the other side.
They called me Ubo.
Well, a pleasure to meet you, Ubo. And he walks through.
You hear the sound of rumbling stone behind you once again. As you look over your shoulder, you see that the gate has closed behind you, and the mysterious turtle Ubo has disappeared alongside it. This leaves us just now with Rufus. Rufus, you have just walked into the darkness first of all, and it is incredibly cold and dark in here, and you can barely see anything else around you. You can sense that you're in a small kind of tunnel, and below it's stone and it's cold where you are, and you're kind of, you know, pretty stressed at this point, I'd imagine, having lost the others and just seeming to walk down this tunnel until you can see something, and you feel something take your hand. It's another hand, and it just slips into your fingers like a familiar lover holding your hand.
Oh. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. Oh.
It's the voice of a little girl who's taken your hand, and you look down, and there is a little girl there. She's maybe 6 or 7, wearing a little dress, and she's quite sweet, were it not for the fact that she seems definitely to be dead.
Oh.
She is clearly undead by the look of her skin. There is no blood flowing through her veins whatsoever. There's no apparent wounds on her whatsoever, but she's just clearly not amongst the living.
Well, hello, small dead child.
Hello, Rufus.
You know my name. It seems a bit unfair I don't know yours.
Ubo told me.
You do have a name, though.
Yes, oh yes. My name is Nepatak.
Have you seen my friends, Nepatak?
No, I haven't yet, but I will. I'll be seeing them soon. I see everyone.
Okay. So we're just gonna stand here and hold hands?
We should walk.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Oh, we can walk. I like walks.
Me too. She starts walking with you.
So you don't get scared down here all by yourself?
Not really. I've been down here for so long. You get used to it. And it's not all bad.
Seems kind of spooky.
Rufus, what scares you?
Rufus takes a deep breath and kind of points to his forehead. And he says, this right here. To the glowing tattoo on his forehead.
How did you get it?
It's not really a story to tell a little girl. It's not a happy story.
I rarely hear happy stories. You can tell me.
Well, when I was training at the monastery, they told me that because I was a big man, I could be used to do great things for them. And so I refused because I thought they was going to use me for bad stuff. And when I did, they took me in the middle of the night and they tied me down and they did some kind of sacrificial ritual and burned this tattoo into my forehead using hot charcoal. They told me it would open up my powers.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No, they was quite mean to me, in fact. It's why I escaped and went to the circus.
But you do have that power inside of you.
I do. It looks to be that way.
Do you hate them for it?
I don't hate anyone. It's a heavy burden to bear.
Not even that ringmaster? He was so cruel to you.
They have all been cruel to me. But going through life hating people's no way to live. I try to live by the light. That's what the monks taught me until, they was mean to me, as you so put it. I believe that light overcomes the darkness. It can be so much better and kinder than any darkness that wants to overtake the world.
I used to think that too when I was a little girl. That everything was fine and happy and everything would be okay. And then I burned. We all died in a fire. I mean, it was bad and horrible, like you said with your eye thing, but I mean, I came back. My brother, he made a mistake with his powers. He didn't realize how strong they were. So he accidentally burnt the house down and we all died, but he brought me back.
He brought you back from the dead?
That's right. His powers then were less than they were, but even then he was a powerful sorcerer.
And you've been here since your brother raised you from the dead after burning you to death?
He keeps me here. It's
He
how I
keeps you.
stay alive, and it's also my task.
Your task? Dare I ask your brother's name?
I think even he has forgotten his real name. I know I have. But, Rufus, the Arcanum
Yes.
requires something of you, if you're going to get where you want to go.
Okay.
You come to you start hearing the sound of running water, actually. And you see ahead of you a little light, and there is a boat, a rowboat big enough for one person. There's one Rufus.
One Rufus, two people, one Rufus.
Two people, one Rufus. And there's a little bell at the end, which looks like it could be rung with a little rope and a little light by this. And the rowboat is kind of like tied off to a little jetty, and it looks like this river will run out further down a different tunnel. And Nevatax stops here with you, still holding your hand. See, the Arcanum requires something of us all. There are a lot of different places around here. Not all of them are as nice as the ones that you might hope to go to. And indeed, the one that you're trying to get to isn't a nice one at all. It's where a lot of terrible things happened. A lot of people lost their lives, and they weren't raised back from the dead the same way I was. A lot of them became the servants at the doorway. Those creatures. Or worse.
So I'm just supposed to get in the boat?
Yes. You must. There's no way back now except from forwards. But you need to be prepared.
For what?
Going through the Arcana may awaken something more in your powers. I'm not sure exactly. It might also take something away from them.
Oh. Okay. Well, I can't swim, so let's just gonna put that out there right now. So I do appreciate the boat. I'm a bit scared, you know. When I get a little angry or upset, the only person who can calm me down is Farron, and she's not here. You haven't seen Farron, have you?
I will do soon.
Okay.
I'll let her know.
Right. Rufus takes a big, calming, deep breath to try to, center himself. And he says, so, in the boat. Just gonna step in the boat. And he's, talking to himself as he, gets closer. And he does. He, 1 foot at a time, balancing himself in this tiny rowboat. So, what now?
Good luck, Rufus. And goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for talking with me and holding my hand.
You watch as Nepatak loosens the rope to the jetty, and the boat begins to sail quite swiftly down the river. You'll notice that it doesn't have any oars on it, but at the same time it doesn't look as though it needs to be steered at all. It's just being guided along the river quite naturally. And while it's going fast, it doesn't seem like it's too dangerous yet. And you head away into the darkness. Farron, you're not far behind, maybe 15-20 seconds or so, and you too, in the darkness alone, feel a hand take yours. It's cold and clammy, and you look down and you see a little girl is taking it. She's in a little dress, 6 or 7 years old. Hey.
Oh, hi.
How are you, Farron?
Oh, goodness. Do I know you?
No, but I've just met Rufus, and he does.
Oh, well, that's good. I guess any friend of Rufus is a friend of mine. So, I'm Farron. What's your name?
My name is Nepatak.
Ooh, that's a long one. You got there.
I suppose so. I hadn't really thought about it.
Nepatak.
Where I come
Farron
from,
is saying it in different ways.
where I come from, people have names like that.
Where are you from?
A different world.
Oh. Okay. So then why are you here then? Don't you want to go
I'm
home?
here to take you to the boat. No, I can't go home. I'm dead.
Oh my god. And Farron holds out her hands and she's like, am I dead? Am I dead?
No, you're not dead yet.
Yet?
You might be. I mean, the Arcanum is a scary place.
Oh my
People
god.
do die here.
And Farron is having a moment now, and she's like, I came down here just because I was trying to save the world, and that this place is gonna punish me and kill me for just trying to protect everybody, and now you got Rufus, and Rufus is probably already dead.
If you're going to be like this, you probably will die.
Well, that's really rude.
It's not rude, it's just honest. I'm trying to keep you alive.
But you could do it in a much nicer way. Where are your parents? They should have taught you better than this.
They died too. He didn't raise them back.
Oh, who? Wait, who raised who back?
My brother, after he killed us, brought me back, and that's why I'm here. It's a long story. I'm sure you'll learn more along the way. Farron, what is it you're seeking?
Well, I guess we came down here because we want to get Asarak's phylacteries, and then we have to go find Rufus, and then I guess the main goal is just to get them and get rid of the phylacteries so we can protect all the children.
Good. And the magic that you've learned recently. Do you know where it's come from?
Yeah, it came from Ferris.
Who's Ferris?
Ferris is a student, and he is annoying and kind of rude, kind of like you, but you're not annoying. You're just kind of rude. Ferris is he's one of the little mage kids, one of the 93 of them that we pulled out of the building as the other people like set it on fire and everything. And Ferris told me that I was really bad at shooting. It was kind of similar how the way you told me that I was gonna die. You know, it was kind of like that. And so he came in and he told me some new tricks and taught me some new arrows and some other things like that. And now here we are.
You know, a mage his age shouldn't be able to teach you how to banish people, high mages, away into other realms like the Feywild, don't you?
Well, no, I don't really know how mage school works. I never got to go myself, so I just thought he was really advanced.
Yeah. Really, really advanced. No mages that age should be able to open portals to the Feywild, let alone teach another how to do that. Accessing that kind of magic is something reserved for very powerful mages indeed.
Oh, no. Oh, so Ferris is a bad guy then?
I don't think that means that he's bad.
Well, he's also mean.
Lots of people are mean.
Well, I guess. So then what am I supposed to do about Ferris then?
Suppose you could ask him who he really is.
Okay, I hate talking to Ferris. Every time I meet a new person, they tell me I have to get more involved with Ferris.
A lot of great people were mean. The person who founded this place was mean, I suppose.
Well, who was that?
My brother.
Who's your brother? Where is he here?
No. You hear the sound of rushing water, and there's a boat up ahead with a bell. Looks like it could fit one person. Well, this is for you.
Well, all right then. Nepatek, I hope that you have a nice time here and that you find what you're looking for. I guess your brother?
No. I won't be seeing him again. But
okay,
you might.
well. Oh, is he? Well, you said he wasn't here though. And you also said I'm gonna die here. So if he's not here, I'm gonna die here. I don't know when I'm gonna see him.
Safe journey to you, Ferris. Farron.
No response. I'll get the boat.
She ties you off, and the boat begins to sail down the river.
Farron is like, they really shouldn't be having a child man that boat. It's really small. I don't like the way this organization is being run.
That's the thing she has a problem with.
There's just a lot of child safety laws that should be implemented here.
That's the one thing that's where Farron draws the line.
Yeah, children should not be operating boats. They can mess with the liches, they can create portals, set people on fire, all that, but this is dangerous.
So, Lindy, Laura's strode through not long after Farron similarly finds herself alone walking through the darkness, and the little girl takes her hand. You look
She'll
down, she's 6.
Crouch down.
Yeah, clearly undead, wearing a little dress. Hey.
Hi, are you alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine, how are you?
Oh, I suppose I'm fine as well. You just looked a bit, ill, is all. Are you feeling well?
No, I'm dead.
Oh, so you know. Good, I didn't have to break that to you. Oh, okay, good. People don't take it well when you tell them they're dead.
Yeah, people are get pretty hung up on that kind of thing, but
Me
I've gotten
too.
used to it.
Oh, well, that's good. Been there a while then?
Yeah. She
Oh.
takes your hand and starts walking.
Okay.
A lot of people get upset when you tell them they might die as well, apparently.
I can see that. So a lot of people are very attached to that kind of thing.
So why is it you're here, Laura? It's not like you know the others well.
No, I don't. I just met them earlier, less than an hour ago, it seems, honestly. Attractive people, though. Quite nice. I'm here because my father sent me.
Who's your father?
His name is Hrothgar Deepshaft. He is the clan leader of the Deepshaft Dwarves.
Oh. And you just do what he tells you to?
Well, he is my father, and he knows a lot of what's good. And so, yes, I generally do listen to him. Sometimes we argue, but it's very rarely.
See. I used to argue with my father too sometimes.
I think everyone does.
Yeah. I guess. Well, what is it you're looking for?
Some phylacteries or something? I don't really know. I kind of zoned out a bit when he was talking about the minute details, but I'm pretty sure these other people know what they're doing, so I figured to tag along, you know.
I could take you somewhere else if you'd rather.
Like where? Is this like a tour? I guess this is the tour of the Dark Arcanum. You could sell tickets to that.
You really have to know where you want to go.
Oh.
Else you could end up really anywhere. But if you could tell me of an idea of a place, I could offer some suggestions.
Nothing's really coming to mind. I guess we'll just stick with the phylacteries.
Are you sure?
Cerarax phylacteries.
It's a very dark path.
Well, it sounds exciting. Darkness can be a little intriguing, I suppose. Generally very nonchalant about things, so it's...
Alright, well,
I don't like committing to things too much, so I suppose I'll stick with this phylacteries. This whole idea.
well, be careful. My brother doesn't take kindly to fools.
Oh, well, I'm no fool.
You are talking very silly.
Well, your child. I thought that was appropriate. Anyways, I suppose we should get to this vault then.
She leads you to the boat, which is now up ahead.
Oh,
This one's yours.
no safety features.
It was nice meeting you, Alora. I'm sorry. Well, you'll be okay.
A pleasure meeting you as well. What was your name?
Nepatak.
Nepatak, and she did a little curtsy. Climb in the boat. Stay safe, I'd say. Not, don't die, but, you know, you've already there. So stay safe.
I'll be here waiting.
All right.
She follows after you with sad eyes as you disappear down the river. Zephyr. Walking alone in
Yeah.
darkness. And a little girl takes your hand, 6 years old, little dress, clearly undead. Hi.
Hi, what are you doing here?
I live here. What are you doing here?
Just passing through.
I understand.
Are you the gatekeeper?
No, I'm more of the ferryman, I suppose. Or ferrywoman? Or ferry girl? I don't know.
What's your price for fare then?
I don't charge anything. It's a free ride.
Well then, you're not really a ferry person then, are you? They charge.
I suppose
I told...
the Arcanum does. Less so than me.
For the first time, he turns and looks down.
Then why are you here, little girl?
I'm dead, and it's my task.
It's a terrible task.
Agreed. But it's not like I have any choice.
Why don't you come with me?
I can't.
Why don't I destroy you?
You can't.
Then we are at an impasse. let us proceed.
Would you like to tell me about your father?
What can I tell you about a tempest? It rages. It has emotions unknown to the world of men, but it feels them very powerfully. What can I tell you about a tempest?
I guess I could tell you something. Your ship. It's safe for now.
He stops and turns.
Which ship is that, little girl?
The Tempest Beloved. It's
That
down.
is my mother's ship.
It's down here.
Down here. What is your name, little girl?
Nepatak.
How do you know me, Nepatak?
I don't really. I can just read people.
What else can you read about me, Nepatak? Let us walk slowly, so you may have some joy in your task.
Don't trust many people.
I trust my crew.
But can you?
Always.
Well, that's nice. I think you might be afraid.
I'm not stupid. Of course I'm afraid.
But you don't let that show?
What's the point?
I guess you think you're being strong, so the others feel strong too?
No, I'm pretending to feel strong. So I feel strong. The rest, the others, are possessed of a power greater than I. I am surrounded by a powerful crew, Nepatak. The big man, the archer, the peacock. I don't know about this new one. She's not crew.
He's not.
Can I trust her, Nepatak?
You can trust my brother. He doesn't suffer fools.
Well, who is your brother?
He used to be here a long time ago, but not any longer.
He's not an answer.
You come to a boat.
You can't answer, can you?
I can't. Some things have to be discovered in the Arcanum. It's not my job.
Before I leave you, Nepatak, you probably already know this, but my mother was granted 2 wishes. She chose wisely. If I had one, I would wish for you to be gone from this awful task. Goodbye, child. He jumps in the boat.
As you go away, she says, I have one too. Phylactery.
What's it look like?
You sail away. The group of you are all individually on your boats with a single bell on them. And you are traveling down the river. And eventually this river leads you forwards to a point in which you all rejoin one another in a central chamber filled with water. There is one larger tunnel leading out from here, which looks like your boats could all run together next to one another. And indeed, that seems to be where your boats are leading you. They almost connect, as though you're on like a tour ride, and fit down into this larger tunnel as a group of you are next to one another on the boats, each with a bell on them.
Rufus sits in the boat, like, gripping the edge, like, hanging on for dear life. He goes, I was so worried I wasn't going to see you lots again.
Laura's lounging in her boat. Oh, good, everyone's here. We all made it.
I met a little girl.
As did I.
Oh, you met a little girl too?
Yes.
Zephyr rides in the front of the boat, and as soon as it beaches, he jumps out and rings the bell.
Oh, they beached?
The boats are still moving down the river. There is nowhere to beach.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
on
I
the tunnels.
thought you said they pulled up and parked like a ride. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are-
I thought it was just...
yeah, no,
Or at Disney.
yeah, they lift up and you can get out now. Yeah.
Wow, and Splash Mountain was fun.
Yeah, no, they're still moving down. They're next to one another, but not stopped.
Well, you spoke with the little girl. She asked lots of questions about my history. It made me kind of nervous. Nobody happened to ask her where we was going, did you?
Arcanum.
Yes, she asked me where I was going.
Oh.
With you lot, obviously. To
Right.
the phylacteries.
Yeah, anybody know what that looks like?
I believe when we see it.
Okay, then. So we're just riding down the river.
Yes, lazy river cruise, it seems, for now.
This water... is the water... You said it's dark in this cavern? Like, we can't see what's in the water?
Yeah, you can't really make out what's in the water, if indeed there is anything in there. It's that level of darkness where, even if dark vision, the water itself is pretty murky and black. You don't hear anything moving around in it at this point.
Okay. This whole place gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's very quiet. And who lets a little girl walk around by themselves in a place like this?
Well, she's dead. It's not like there's much hazard that could come to her.
See, Farron understands.
I was thinking she's much too small. It's very dangerous to do this. Also, was she rude to any of you? She was rude.
Not at all.
I thought she was very nice.
Well,
I mean,
she
other than
told
being
me-
a little, asking lots of questions.
She told me that I was gonna die.
Oh.
She told you was gonna die?
Yes. And she also told me that Ferris, is not who he says he is, and, is either way older than he says, or way more powerful than he says, and
Well, that's news. That's...
yeah, I know.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Wait a second. We never found out which one was his son, did we?
No.
We did not.
And Casimir hasn't heard from Stormfingers either.
Oh my goodness.
So you think it might be Ferris? We
I bet
never
that
had-
little shit was lying to us the whole time.
I told all of you I hated Ferris. I told you from the beginning I didn't like him.
Told us. We have to get through this.
It's true. You're right. We've got to eat this elephants one bite at a time. Right now, I just need to make sure I don't fall off in the waters because I can't swim.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And I would like to just call it right now. If we do end up having to kill Ferris, I'm gonna be the one to do it.
That seems fair.
I think so too. I hated Ferris first. I'm gonna hate him last.
Laura, you're all new to this, right? And you just
Yes.
like somebody sent you here. Did they, inform you of anything more than just shows up and killed the thing?
Not a whole lot, no. That there's a bunch of undead, Sarax lich, bad things happen. Something about something happening, what's that? The place Chult? was involved at some
Yes.
point. I
Oh,
don't know.
right.
Then I'm here now, so...
Nobody's rang their bell, have they?
No, I haven't rang mine.
How close are the boats together, Will?
Maybe 5 feet apart.
So within melee?
Yeah.
Zephyr pulls out his hammer and rings Alora's bell.
Oh,
Now we don't need to go around touching each other's bells.
I mean, I'm okay going around touching each other.
I mean,
The
I'll
boat.
touch your bell if you want me to, Alora.
I mean, if you'd like.
Rufus reaches it up with like a big Sausage feet and goes, ding!
So, Alora's bell is rang a couple of times, and it's a loud little kind of like clang sound.
Not at all melodic.
No, not melodic whatsoever. It is pretty painful sounding, in all honesty. You begin to hear the sound of something moving up ahead in the water, Elora. It seems to be pretty big, whatever it is. You're being sent sort of little ripples, almost a riptide is forming ahead of you.
Does anyone else hear that?
No.
Oh. Fantastic. And I'll go ring Zephyr's bell.
I feel like everybody's now just like eating each other's spells.
I'll just mage hand. Ding!
Yep, the bell rings off again from Zephyr. The sound of the creature, whatever it is ahead of you, is looming louder.
Sounds like something is rather loud and up ahead of us.
Do we hear this? Does Rufus and Farron?
Yes, everyone hears
Oh.
this.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay, good. Well, let's surely hope not. Maybe we shouldn't have rang the bells.
I mean, there's nothing we can do now. We
I mean, I do have bagpipes. I could have played those for
No, oh.
instead of the bells.
Can we see anything? Can I roll a perception to see if I see the sound?
Sure.
I don't see the sound.
See sound. Unfortunately for Rufus, sound is not easily visible, and he struggles manfully in the darkness, trying to spot anything. Sound is getting louder and louder, and you begin to hear a hissing of a creature up ahead, almost like a snake-like hiss, but very
Now that
large.
there's hissing, can I look for it as well?
Sure.
See,
Can we can I just call out and be like,
Nope.
hello? Is anybody there coming to hello?
You hear a hiss.
Oh, yes.
Will, how tall is the ceiling in here?
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 feet.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay. Rufus proceeds to flip his backpack barrel around to the front, knowing this is going to end poorly, and begins to hug his barrel, knowing that it will be his lifesaver if he goes overboard.
I'm gonna start blowing up my bagpipes.
Zephyr turns over and sees across the two other boats, sees Rufus beginning to basically make a flotation device out of his barrel, and locks eyes with the big man and says,
Big man, you're not going to drown. I promise. You will not drown. I need you to fight, though. If this thing comes out, stay in your boat. If you fall, you'll be all right.
Okie dokie. Yeah, okay. You've like, he goes, all right. And he, grabs his staff and kind of holds it in front of him, long ways, waiting for something.
Yeah, the hissing is getting louder and louder, and then you break out into a cavern, which is lit. You see the lights looming up ahead out of the darkness, and this kind of sound is coming from, you think, underwater. And there is actually the kind of like water spout spewing up from the pool in here. This chamber is maybe 100 feet large and probably about 100 feet high as well. This thing is huge, and you're clearly very far underground, sorry. And looming out from this, there rises a huge monstrosity of scale and flesh. This creature has several heads. You count at least 5 of them rearing out from the darkness, each of them snake-like, huge appendages and fangs leering out from them, each mouth making this noise. And the main face in the center looks almost human, looks almost warped, as though maybe it once was human, but no longer. But in fact, you guys can roll me a quick nature checks on this one.
Can I roll a history check instead? Because I went to college because I'm a bard.
Oh, yeah. Bard College.
I did. I went to the Bard College of Lore.
Ooh.
There you go. This thing is everyone except from Zephyr. This thing is most likely some kind of hydra. It is gargantuan, however. This thing is much larger than any hydra really should be, and it embodies most of the space as your boats stop from moving. It does not appear to attack you immediately as you enter into the space, merely observing you with its 5 heads reared up and probably like 60 feet high in the sky right now, looking down upon you menacingly.
Hello, Hydra.
Nobody do anything crazy.
We just talk to it, maybe.
We'll just talk to the Hydra.
So with those nature checks, do we know anything else about it, or with her history check, would she know anything about how to communicate with it or anything?
Historically, Laura would know that these creatures are generally defeated by fire. You know, they don't like fire. It's, you know, that's how you cut off the heads, you can burn them off.
Right.
You don't know if hydras can speak. Typically they can't, but this one has a kind of human face on it.
Oh.
Possibly
Right.
it can. You know, it looks down upon you and hisses. Who has come here? The seekers of the phylacteries. Azarak is who you seek. I will help you all. Yes, I will. I'm here to help.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
I'm really bad at insight, but that is suspicious as all get out.
I'm gonna also Yeah, that seems like
I mean, what do you want from me? It's a giant hydra saying that he's your friend. It's
Yeah,
seems
alright.
suspicious.
it's like,
A bit suspicious. Cool.
he hasn't got like a poker tail or anything, you know.
The eyes twitching.
Every time his eye twitches a little bit, you
Like,
know that
I
he's
didn't
gonna
know if the
fall.
other heads were getting, like, neck chips tied around them and getting forks and knives,
Right.
you know, like, for obvious signs.
Mr. Hydra, we don't mean to question you,
Yes.
but I would like to know how, in fact, does a Hydra help a group of adventurers like us?
You're looking for the right path to the phylacteries, and I will help you, for I too wish to see Azarak's demise. I have been left here in this lair. The place between places this dimension he's trapped me in after his minions killed me.
How
Oh,
tragic.
that's awful. Nobody deserves to be a slave to nobody. Isn't that right, Farron?
I
Oh, yeah, that is right.
fundamentally disagree with that, but when it comes to myself being enslaved, why, that's a different matter entirely. In life, they called me Rasni. I was a leader amongst the snake people in Charles, but now I lie here and I rot, a servant of Azarak.
So is that the case with everybody down here? Was all the people killed somehow by Azarak? Even the little girl back there?
I was fooled. I was fooled by him. He promised me power eternal.
And instead, he trapped you here instead. That is just
Well, I
awful.
got in a little fight with a lich. You see, that turned a little sideways for me when a troublesome band of leapfrogging adventurers were involved. Bastards one and all. Fools, but you might be different. You might be helpful to Rasni. You might be able to get me out of here.
Yes. By offering a Serarak for you.
Well, you see, that would be most helpful, but my chains are not physical as such, but the key is here. I will show you the way if you find me, the key out of here, so that I can return to your world back to Chult, far away from where you all come from. I will live in peace.
Right, and that is all we want for you.
Never
You
will I
and all your heads.
Never will I trouble you. Always. I will help you if ever our paths were to cross again, after you do me such a huge favor.
Rosny, wouldn't us getting Asarak's phylactery and defeating him release you from this place?
Yes, but I also think you might die before that happens. So I'd rather let you go and find the key. Bring it back to me, and I will show you the way.
You realize that Valindra's Shadow Mantle is on her way down here?
Oh, at this point I think that's more your problem than mine.
Ooh. If she kills us before we get your key, or the phylactery, I believe that makes it your problem.
Lepatak will send her down a different path, if she reaches her.
She will,
So
and she'll
this,
make it to you.
so this here key that you're looking for.
Oh yes.
He like leans in with all 5 heads upon Rufus, looming down, and you can feel the kind of drool dripping down from these hungry snake mouths.
Yes, yes. A simple object, really. A small orb of domination that keeps me trapped here.
And where might this orb be kept?
Tethers my spirits to this place as strong as any chain or lock might be able to. I will show you the path. It's here.
And moving its gargantuan snake-like body around, it reveals a small tunnel, which looks like one could fit the boats down.
Down there.
How many tunnels does there seem to be leading from this
Oh,
room?
there are, yes, it is
A
riddled.
lot.
Yeah, it is like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Wondering
pretty
if there's only like
pockmarked.
3 tunnels,
Yeah.
you know. But okay.
I don't know which tunnel to go. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty pockmarked. It looks like a
Okay.
a
Okay.
piece of cheese.
Might be helpful to have a guide.
By all means.
He says as he watches you, sort of, eyeing up the different tunnels.
By all means. Take your lucky dip. Try going into one of the other tunnels and see what Asarak has waiting for you there.
Oh, no, I'm a bard, you see. I write histories and tales, and so I want to write about Resni's lair in Nesarak's chambers. I want to describe how riddled it was with tunnels and how gracious he was in assisting us and pointing us in the right direction.
So
Correct.
written down as legend.
I am a king amongst kings, and my legacy will go on for millennia long after your pitiful souls have left this. But I digress. The orb of domination is this way. Merely find it for me, destroy it, and I will show you the way.
All right. We'll go find this here orb of domination, and we'll be back. We're gonna give you here, Mr. Hydra, the benefit of the doubt, Mr. Rasni, the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, of course.
We are trying to do the right thing here,
And I you.
we see. All right then.
Wait, Master Rasni. You wish to see Asarak dead no matter what, correct?
I'd like to get out most of all, but his death would be pleasant.
Then here's the deal. We will get your orb, we will destroy it, but you must point out now which tunnel is the safe passage to the phylactery and to our goal. Because if Shadow Mantle is coming down here, and she faces you, and she destroys you, then the only chance for your salvation and legacy is for us to destroy Asarak. We can't get past you. We won't be taking these boats into the whatever tunnel you indicate, and you could lie to us and tell us the wrong one. But if you do fall, Asarak has won. Most assuredly. But I will leave that up to you, Rosny.
Probably a persuasion check, Greg.
Can I
There it
give
is.
him a little pat on the shoulder? Oh, okay. That's better.
I'm not very persuasive. I'm gruff and to the point.
Extraordinarily persuasive. But
I do not trust mortals. You are pitiful and conniving and seek to deceive me. Once you find the orb, you will get your reward. And that is all. A deal is a deal.
When we find the orb that controls you, we will see to this deal.
He gestures to the tunnel.
all right, so we're off then. Yes. All right, let's go. Good.
Right.
The boats lead themselves onward as you make this agreement with Rasni and heads down the tunnel which he indicated. So, as you head down this watery tunnel, the boats go ever onwards, and it's not too long until you see before you a giant stone skull crested with moss, which juts out at the end of this tunnel, which actually leads onto solid ground where you can actually beach your boats. Flame flickers within each of the eye sockets, and a view into the chamber beyond can be seen through its open jaws. As you approach on the beach, and I'm assuming that you beach your boats and rock up onto the shore here, you can see through this giant moor that beyond there is a room, and in that room, stone, cold, and pretty empty looking, there is what appears to be like a stone tablet, altar, and upon that there is indeed an orb. Seemingly to get through to that room, you would have to walk or squeeze your way through the large jaws, which are open and big enough for a medium-sized creature to crawl through.
You know, it's not every day that I just waltz in, meet a Hydra, and have to crawl through a giant skeleton's jaws. Makes me a tad nervous.
The skull itself does look to be made of stone rather than actual bleached bone, if that encourages Rufus any.
It doesn't.
Understandably.
Well, I've not hesitated yet. I guess
Perhaps I should look ahead a bit and make sure the skull isn't going to close down on anyone. Maybe
can we toss a stone through it or something?
spectral traps.
Yeah.
That would be a
Certainly.
good idea. Yeah, and I guess that we have to remember that the only way out is through. You know, we can't really turn around right now, so that helps me a little bit, knowing that, you know, we at least if we do die, at least we didn't have a choice.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
You're such an optimist. Laura's gonna pick up a rock on the shore and kind of throw it
And I
at
just,
the skull and inspect. And if nothing happens, then she'll get a little closer and inspect for some traps.
Yeah, I rolled for 17 perception
Looks
just to see
suspiciously
if
simple.
something is happening.
How close do you want to get to the skull to do that, Farron? Are you doing it from the beach, or are you getting up close and taking a look around?
Just like a nice peruse around the premises, not like so close where it could like bite me. If it was gonna bite me.
Yeah, you're not crawling inside of it. Cool. Laura, you toss a skull. Sorry, a stone at the skull.
Yes.
Into the jaws. It doesn't like clench down and bite or anything like
Okay.
that. It doesn't appear to do that. Farron, are you studying the skull itself, or are you trying to look through into the room?
Just in general, trying to see if there's any sort of imminent danger we're about to walk into.
You don't see any creatures in the other room, and you don't spot. You don't hear anyone around other than yourselves, and you don't see the signs or tracks of any other creatures that have walked in this area.
Okay. I'm gonna get up right next to the skull then. So, close enough to walk inside or crawl through if I wanted. Just make sure there's no, like, pressure plates or trip wires. Just do a nice little...
Yeah, roll your investigation check, yeah.
13.
It doesn't appear like this is trapped in any way. You check for any kind of like hinge or stone depression, which maybe you could pressure plate or something like that, and it doesn't seem like the skull is trapped in that way. The eyes of it are clearly like burning fire, and if you were to walk into that, that would clearly burn you. You'd have to climb up in order to do so, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the jaw is safe.
Well, alright then.
Okay, well, I know I look like a big fellow, but I am quite dexterous. I guess I could give it a go, just in case it snippity snaps down on us. Maybe I could dodge it.
I'll come with you.
All right, well, here goes nothing. And Rufus is gonna kind of like get a little bit of a hip hop start and like dive through his mouth.
Rufus, you slide through. You do a kind of tuck and roll. You do the Indiana Jones, the penitent man, and nothing actually happens as you slide through. As Laura mentioned, there doesn't seem like there was nothing clicks, nothing kind of snaps shut or anything like that. And you find yourself in this next room. It's about 30 feet by 30 feet. There is the orb on the table in front of you. You come
But
out on the
nothing
other
else
side.
in the room?
Nothing else in the room whatsoever. It's dark in here, but the eye fire does illuminate it enough that you can see in.
All right, yeah. Rufus like hits a pose as he comes out of his like roll. And he's like, okay, come on through. It seems to be an empty room with just his orb.
Yeah, Zephyr would follow Rufus through basically at the same time.
Lord follow.
Still going?
Okay,
Going strong?
Laura,
Yes.
the 27 hit you.
Oh! Yes, it does. Actually. Just.
You take 14 points of damage.
Ouch!
As the third person enters the skull, it snaps shut. And a little hinge on it that you didn't spot on the DC 15.
Oh no.
She was close on the investigation check. Just like clamps down on you, and Farron, just on the other side, you watch as his thing just kind of like snaps into Allura. It has her like sandwich smushed in between, and she
I'm
is
stuck!
she is grappled inside of it. It hasn't completely like destroyed her, but this has done
no.
like major trauma to her. Clearly.
Okay. Can Rufus run over and try to like push the jaw open to get her free?
You can roll me a strength check here, an
I
athletics
see
check.
the hinge now!
Okay, can I do an
Zephyr's gonna
athletics?
assist. Yeah,
Athletics.
Zephyr's going to assist if you can.
Athletics with advantage.
Oh!
And an at 20 then,
Yeah, the assist from Zephyr is enough
Nice.
to actually just like pull it up before you watch as the flames in the eyes. What you didn't spot before, Laura, and now just in time to be fair, is that these are essentially like little flamethrowers, which can basically shoot themselves down from the eyes, and the fire would go into the jaw. So you would be trapped, smushed between it, whilst fire rains down upon you. And indeed it does. Just in time, Rufus pulls you out with a nat 20 and just grabs you out before Farron's entered on the other side. The whole, jaw fills with flames from the eyes, enough to, roast someone. And then after about 5 seconds, the flames disappear, and the jaw resets itself.
Well, that was close. The hinges were smaller than I thought they were going to be.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I've been better, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm just gonna give myself a little hug right here.
Farron calls out from the other side. And she's like, I think I would just wait right here then. It's probably
Good idea.
not a good idea for me to go through, so I think I'll just
Yes, you have a bow. You're good at distance stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just be here.
No, we can't leave you. I'll be here to get you. I'll get you. If something
No, Ruby, see, it's fine. I think I'm just gonna stay right here. I really am turned off by the whole jaw clenching, fire breathing, eye shooter things.
Right. Well, what if you close your eyes and you just take a run and jump? You take a run and jump, and I'll be here to catch you. It's like that trust fall we do in the show.
I could attempt to disarm it.
Oh God, I think I might just be a little bit too scarred. Not scared, scarred.
Yeah, leave Farron out. Farron, just have your bow ready.
Okay.
I misclicked. I didn't click anything. All right.
Didn't click anything.
All
So
right.
I'll just stay over here and I'll cheer you on from a distance and good luck, guys. Please come back.
Is there any, there's nothing, you said there's nothing else in the room, not like rocks or tables or anything I could wedge in the mouth?
There is a table upon which sits the orb.
The orb. All right.
Gonna mutter a few words in Dwarvish and cast Cure Wounds on myself.
It's a good idea.
Good idea.
It does look like, can we, now that we've triggered it, can we attempt to,
You could attempt
turn
to
the trap
disarm it.
off?
Yep, you know where the hinge is.
Yes, I think I'll try to do that.
It's probably a good idea, because I truly would not know where to start.
Roll me a
Right.
sleight of
Zephyr
hand.
steps back.
A sleight of hand? Okay. There we go.
That's enough.
Now that I see it,
Yeah,
you have to
that-
be on the other side of the jaw to see the hinge.
It is a lot easier to see on the other side. And it's actually pretty clear from here, and so you just kind of reach around and just snap it off, and
Just give it the old reach around.
yeah, give it a reach around, and successfully you have disarmed this trap.
It's disarmed now. It won't close down and shoot fire at anyone else now.
Are you absolutely
100% positive, and I'll hold up the spring or whatever. Yes, it is
Okay.
disarmed.
Rufus puts out a hand for Farron to grab as she comes through.
Yeah.
Come on.
She won't do it cautiously. She'll do it where she'll take a running start and just dive.
Yeah, roll me a dexterity set. I'm kidding.
I swear
I'm
to
kidding.
God.
Damn it.
So the four of you find yourselves in this room with an orb on the table. It's about 30 by 30. The scholars are behind you. Seems like there's nothing else in this room. Nothing to worry about.
Right. Because, an empty room with an orb is nothing to you.
Yeah, I mean,
So we should
I've got one of those
probably do
at home.
that thing where we pick it up and put something else in its place so the weight thing doesn't change. You know
How
what I mean?
big is this crystal? Or
The
sphere?
orb itself is, I would describe it as Palantir-sized.
Okay.
It has a good heft to it. You could probably fit it in one hand, like a bowling ball almost, but pretty a little bit smaller than a bowling ball.
All right.
Do we really think if we replace it, nobody's going to notice?
Well, I'm thinking maybe it's just a weight thing, and if we pick it up and just leave it there, we're probably gonna die. And maybe if we just put something that weighs the exact same amount on it, then maybe we won't die. I don't know.
That's a good idea. Zephyr, you got any thoughts? I mean, what do we... I hate to describe it. It feels like maybe, we could die that way.
That's what I was thinking, and I was remembering, the legend of the leapfroggers. I think they did something very similar, and I also think they maybe had a similar DM who might be using the same trap once again.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a good thing you have this knowledge.
It's a good thing.
The legend of the leapfroggers goes into excruciating detail, not only of the sheer talent of said dungeon master, but also his humility as well.
There's no other exit. It's one way in, one way out. Now that we're on the other side.
Or one way out. Feel free to roll me perception checks here, or investigate, or.
Can I investigate the
doing
table? This is on. Look at that trap.
I'm gonna roll an insight instead. I would like to know, like how wise is it of us to act? Well, no, I know nothing.
Yeah, I mean, again, Rufus, what do you want? Like, it's like an orb of domination probably in the room. Like, it's Asarex. Like, is this a good idea? But,
I feel like I should just pocket it.
But at the same time, it's like, there's a Hydra out there, and it's like kind of in the world, so like, no, this isn't a good idea, but also this is the only idea we have, so, maybe that's not a good idea. You don't see anything on the table, Farron, what were you looking at?
Oh, I was just checking around it for traps.
No traps on the floor or around here. Doesn't seem like there's any poison gas, or doesn't look like there's any pressure pads or anything like that.
Zephyr's going to draw close to Farron.
Farron, if one of us gets stuck in something like that, like the jaws or some type of trap, or we look like we're incapable of saving ourselves, could you shoot us with one of those arrows you used on the mage?
The banishing one?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing is, whenever you reappear, you reappear right where you left.
Well, it might buy everyone else some time. Just something to think about.
I'll keep it in mind.
Well, so if the plan is to replace the orb with another thing, what have we got?
We could get a rock, maybe. There were some rocks around.
Any in the room, or is it empty?
None in the room. There are some by the beach. You could go back through the disarmed skull and you could get some.
Okay.
Or is
I will remind you.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say the Hydra said to destroy it, not to bring it.
Well, I'm just thinking that if we just pick it up right here, and don't, replace it with anything on the table, there might be some sort of pressure thing, maybe, and everything will explode. I'm not sure, though.
I'm not averse to destroying it here.
I'm not either. So you mean destroy it on the table?
Yeah, on the table in this room. Does it really matter where we destroy it?
Well, then what if we just go out there and I shoot it?
Or
go ahead and leave the room and...
I've been known to smash a few rocks with my hands.
Zephyr nods at Alora.
How did you ring my bell?
Oh! And I'll, snap in a little spectral mage hand.
How about we all get outside of this mouth? You reach your little ghost hand in, grab that orb, pull it out.
I'm good at that.
Yeah,
Pulling things out?
Yes.
yeah, pulling them out, whipping them out.
Well, that's great.
I am a sailor.
I mean, this seems like a good idea. It keeps us all safe and on the right side of the mouth.
We could try it. And the mouth is disarmed, so it shouldn't be any trouble.
So,
Well, all right then.
Doesn't work.
So yeah, just whip it out and pull it through the mouth.
Will do.
right. Is it just me? All this mouths and pulling of things. I'm getting hot again. What is that?
I'm just getting comfortable. I don't know.
It really puts me at ease. This is really my home territory we're playing on right now.
Oh man. man.
For Rufus, it's an away game. For Alora, this is home turf. So
It's true.
Quite experienced.
I mean, Rufus has never been with a lady. He grew up held captive by a bunch of monks. He's never even kissed a girl.
Oh.
Okay, wow.
Well, I don't even know what to do with that information,
Yeah.
Chelsea.
That's went from terrifying to tragic in about 20 seconds. So, okay, so the group of you, let me understand this correctly. So you're heading away out from the skull, back onto the beach. Alora is going to use her mage hand, whip it out, and take the orb and pull it through the mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you could just like
That's
knock
what
it
we're at
off
least
with the
going
mage
to
hand,
try.
It
roll it
just
off,
breaks, just breaks it
and
roll
let
off the
it
table.
hit the ground.
I hate it when
tried that.
my orbs of domination always roll off the table.
Yeah, we'll try
I
that
need to
first.
talk-
Just like a cat. Just like
Just like kind of like knock it off the
I need
table,
to
and
use
if
coasters, damn it!
if it breaks that way,
Prepare for my rectangles of oblivion.
the cube of oblivion next time.
oh man.
My rhombus of doom! Not quite as sexy.
I'm imagining they're like at a meeting around like all the big bads of every game, and they're like, "We need to think about different shapes."
I've heard the pyramid is really stable because the weight is all at the bottom. Yeah, bat it off the table.
The trapezoid of carnage.
They never expected my hexagon of death.
Full of doom.
My dodecahedron of bad things.
That's right.
They're like talking to each other about the best ones that they've had, yeah.
Yeah.
They really didn't see it coming.
If I find another cat familiar.
Oh my god, kill me.
Alright, so, the group of you, okay, several things are going to happen almost immediately. Laura, I will
Yes.
need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh! My second best stat! And by that I mean my second worst stat. Yes, I'm so wise.
There it is. So, you pick up the orb,
Uh-huh.
and with your mage hand, which is it like a little glowy blue
A
hand
cup
or
it. Yeah, it's green. A
little
cup
green
it.
hand? Yeah. So you cup the orb up, and as you do so, you feel the ghost hand and your own hand becoming incredibly hot for about 2 seconds. And there's a kind of flash in your vision for a moment. Again, Palantir style.
Okay.
And you find yourself somewhere else. You're looking at something else. You're there on your own, Alora. No one else is here right now. And you're in a meadow. It is a beautiful looking meadow. Grass is green. There's a little river which is flowing nearby. There are a couple of deer that are prancing in the fields. There is a little house as well. Little farmhouse that you're very close to, and you see a little boy and a girl who you recognize to be Nepatak. She is running around. At this point, she looks the same age as she was when you saw her, so about 6 or 7, same dress. And she's playing around, and you can see that her older brother is with her. He's a striking-looking kid. Probably at this age, maybe 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
You can hear inside that there are, other family members in there. Presumably, mother and father are inside, and you watch as they run and dance through the fields and run back inside as they are called for dinner. As a little bell rings twice.
Okay. Interesting. This is not where I thought I'd end up. I'm gonna sneak on up to that house there.
Roll me a
Do
stealth
they
check.
seem to notice me?
They haven't seemed to notice you, but they weren't looking kind of directly at you, so it's
Okay.
difficult to tell. You can roll me a stealth check if you like.
Yes, please. No! I trip and fall right into the river. Little
So you absolutely just clang
Face
right into a like a cowpat. and just like pull yourself up. Gross. Like it does affect you. You can tell that you're actually in this place. And you step through to the farmhouse, peeking over the side of their wall. And inside you can hear a man talking, and he's saying, well, make sure you all come in for dinner now. In what you seem to be a pretty kind of southern voice. He's sitting down at the table with him. You can look in through the window. Despite the loudness of your fall, no one seems to have
Good.
seen anything.
Just prestidigitate.
Yeah, prestidigitate away. And you see that there is the father inside. He's a very tall guy, like maybe 7 feet tall or so.
Oh, wow.
Very striking, big tall human. He's got a suit of armor on the wall. Clearly, he is some kind of fighter. Maybe even a paladin. This kind of golden, beautiful armor. Clearly, has been well polished and used. The group of you, rather, aren't experiencing this. Just a note for Rufus and Farron and Zephyr. And Alora seems to be in something of a trance while this is happening.
Is she okay?
She doesn't seem to be able to respond to you. Her eyes are kind of like rolled back into her head.
Oh!
Yeah, it's like you're having some kind of like seizure or fit.
Will, where is the orb in relation to? Is it still coming towards her,
It is
or
just
is it?
hanging in midair right now.
Okay.
Farron will come in front of her face and be like, "Hello, if you could keep bringing it forward so we can crush it." Laura, getting right in front of her face.
She's not even able to respond to that as you're going to shout in her face. Alora, back in the moments that you're in, the father is talking over dinner with the mother, the young boy, and little Nepatak, you recognize as well. Of note, this place is most likely definitely not the Sword Coast or anywhere in the realms that you've been before. The sky above is a rich, deep purple, and there are floating islands of lands all around. This is not like something you've seen before, so Nepatak has mentioned that she was not really from this place, and it would seem to confirm what what she told the others, and it's been relayed back to you. From inside this little scene of kind of domestic bliss, there seems to be a bit of a fight going on between the father and the son, which erupts into something rather chaotic very swiftly. The pleasant moment turns to one of sheer chaos very, very swiftly as a bolt of dark magic shoots itself out from the son's hand. You think maybe there was some kind of dispute about whether or not the son had to do chores, something very simple like this, and he goes pretty crazy very swiftly. The bolt of black magic just flies itself out from his hand, and almost immediately pushes back the father through one of the walls, and almost all the way through it. It crumples down around, and a fire begins. There's a lot of shouting and there's screaming, and the boy seems to be unable to control this fire, this rage inside of him. His eyes are glowing a red-hot red as more and more bolts of dark energy just flow out from his hands, engulfing the house in a display of magic which you have not seen before of this magnitude. At least not from anyone who is this age. You would expect something like this of a High Mage Esmeralda would probably be able to do something like this, but this is a true display of real chaotic magic which is exploding in the house. You watch on as Nepatak and her mother and father are essentially destroyed by the flames and the bolts of chaotic magic flowing around until they are dead on the floor. And the son stands in the ashes of the house, that same red-hot eyes glowing.
You recognize the face structure to not be dissimilar to that of the skull which you walked through. You think this is the skull was probably made in image of this person. If you would have to guess, you were looking at a young Asarak before he became a lich.
Okay.
The sun stands in utter chaos and ruin of this house as it burns down around you. And seemingly immune to the flames, seemingly immune to the chaotic energy, you see tears streaking down his face as he realizes what he's done. Nepatak! Nepatak! And he grabs her in his arms, pulling her up, even though she's clearly not alive, and just kind of throws her over his shoulder and starts to run out from the house, and runs away from the house. A few moments later, you watch as the father groans to life, somewhat still being able to cling to life, perhaps due to whatever holy nature has been protecting him. You would guess from his armor that he was a paladin, and something has definitely protected him. He stands tall at that same 7 feet tall, and he leans down, bends over his wife. I can't believe what's been done. And he kind of takes her in his arms and walks her out. You can tell that he's barely alive, Byleth, at all. And the holy symbol which is on his chest is glowing bright, probably the only thing which was protecting him. And you watch as he takes her outside, what's left of her body, and places her on the ground. A few moments later, Alora, you're back in the scene. The orb comes towards you and is in your hands.
Ooh. Well then, that was... Did any of you else... Did you all see that? That happened, the thing? Whew, is it warm in here?
All we
It's
saw
hot.
was you know, your eyes rolling back in your head, and you looked like you were having a nice time.
I saw a little friend Nepatak as alive, and then she died, and she will explain everything in exquisite bard detail that she saw. Just relay.
So you saw a vision?
Yes. Everything got really hot between the mage hand and my hand, and then I felt just like my mind was taken elsewhere to see something.
So you saw her brother?
Yes. I think he might be a younger Sararak.
Oh, wait, what did he look like then?
Zephyr describes Ferris.
Does he look like about this big?
I don't know.
15, 16. Brown hair, kind of pale.
Is that what
Certainly there is a similarity in their descriptions. You don't have a picture by picture of him. It certainly could be. You'd estimate the boy was maybe a little younger.
It was
But it's hard to
younger, I believe, but similar. Maybe family of some sort? I don't know. The facial structure on the skull here matches it exquisitely. Like, this is spot on.
Okay, so can
Will-
we look at
Yeah,
that?
I'm sorry. Keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
Does the skull look like somebody that we know?
You can roll me a perception check.
Okay. If anybody else would like to jump on this bandwagon of perceiving,
I will assist.
unless
Yeah.
I got advantage. I have an at 20.
So it looks a little bit like Ferris, but this skull is clearly it's not a face. It's not someone's facial features that have been done. It's someone's skull. So what would someone look like without their actual face if it was just their skull? Is people don't really look like what they look like, in life in many ways. So possibly the structure is there. It looks quite, this still looks like a monument to absolute evil, but it certainly could be. It doesn't look like it's an old skull.
Will, could the assist be a comparison between the skull? Any similarities in the face or appearance of the girl, Nepatak, and Ferris.
Yeah. One thing that does sort of strike you is the similarity between Nepatak and the skull, because she is undead and a lot of her, like flesh has withered away, so she kind of is a bit skull-like. Certainly, this would seem familiar to Alora.
Okay. Yes, isn't this interesting? We have the thing that we're supposed to break now.
How does one go about breaking it?
That's an excellent question. I drop it on the ground. Does it break?
It doesn't break, unfortunately.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Rufus picks it up and is going to do more of like a crushing, like smashing against the
Careful
wall.
touching it.
Wait. How does one go about controlling a Hydra with it?
Oh, you want to roll it? We could, yeah.
Can I see that again? I'm going to.
Yes. Would you use your smarts to try to figure it out?
I will. I went to school for magic and lore and history and stuff, and I would like to maybe arcana this orb and see if I can figure out how to use it.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Really low or really high?
You think that you could control the power of this orb, potentially. It's likely you would need to go inside the orb again.
Oh. Well, I might be able to control it, but I might have to go inside the orb again.
Why don't we get you in the boat? You start controlling it. We'll head back towards Sunshine up there.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, they will be like, do you know how to break this? I could probably bluff it. Potentially, maybe. We'll try.
Or if we go out there and he's there and Valindra shows up, we just throw the orb to her and run like hell.
You sure it's a good idea to give her control of the big Hydra that's...
Not at all. I'm more apt to survive.
I mean, we could just smash it now.
Well,
Then we will rely on him keeping his end of the bargain.
right, well, I guess let's get in the boats, and if I can't control it, then I'll try to explain that I was just trying to break it magically, and I am unfortunately not powerful enough to do so, and ask him to kindly assist. You might not know who's exactly controlling the control orb.
I mean, I'm here simply to smash it if you need it smashed.
All
Other
right.
than that, I trust your brilliant magical mind, because I don't know nothing about orbs.
All right. Well, they are very spherical in nature. Let's get in the boats. And I will sit in the boat with the orb.
Yep.
The plans here.
Yep.
Rufus goes back to his team.
Yes, who controls the controllers? So, as you get into the boat, Alora, are you going to attempt to control this thing immediately?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try.
It seemed like when you had any magical contact with the orb, it reacted well to that.
Okay, I'll just fondle it with my mage hand some more.
Yeah, you
Best use of mage hands.
you give it a little rubbing here and there, and it seems
The
to
stranger.
it seems to enjoy that. As you do so once
Got
again.
both my hands in the mage hand. I'm just like, yeah.
Oh yeah. You give it that old the brain massage for
Yeah.
Control orbs, and you find yourself once again having that brief moment of flashing energy. The rest of you watch as Laura's eyes kind of roll back in her head, and Laura, you're in a dark chamber, and Nepatak's body is here, along with the young Asarak, who is casting a spell, seemingly from some sanctum. It's a dark spell. The words are in a foreign tongue, but they are clearly evil. And he raises her from the dead, reading from a dark book of magic, which it seems to be perhaps bound by skin. The pages seem to move on their own accord, and he slams it shut as the spell finishes, and you watch as Laura's body is risen from the dead. He says, Nepatak. Sorry, not Laura's body, Nepatak's
Let's
body.
kick it. I was really concerned there for a
Raised
minute.
from the dead. No. Nepatak's body is raised from the dead. Asarak says, Nepatak! Are you back? And she looks at him. Brother? Yes. Of course. What happened? There was a fire. He says, I brought you back. I brought you back. I had to. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry. I made a mistake, but I brought you back. Thank you. I think... Where are we? We're somewhere safe. Somewhere safe, but... The mages, they're trying to hunt me. For what I did. For the accident. They blame me. I didn't know the extent of my powers. Father never taught us anything. She says, oh, that's not good at all. And she's standing up and she's really clearly quite confused by everything that's going on and looks kind of in horror around at all of the, little subjects that he has. And he's like, yes, it's okay though. It's okay. I have a plan. And you can tell there's something off with this kid. Right.
Yeah.
He should be, Laura, you put him at like 12, 13 years old. But he's got like this book of dark magic in his hand. He's talking in a way that you would think is like, okay, you're pretty creepy right now.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Clearly, he's been touched by dark magics. You can see that his body itself appears to be greatly affected by it. It's okay, I have a plan. I have a plan. One that'll keep us both safe. The mages have a little hideaway. They call it the Arcanum. I can keep you there, and you'll be safe. And I found this book. And in this book there's ways to keep me alive even if they do find me. She's saying, Ferris, that sounds wrong. That sounds scary. He's like, it's not scary at all. It's not scary at all. It'll be okay, Nepatak. I have a plan. You see, they call them phylacteries. You can hide in different places, in different dimensions. And if they destroy your body, you'll come back as long as no one's destroyed them. You can do lots of different things. I've got a plan. When I do this, my body will grow old and shrivel and die. I'll become ancient, but there's a way that no one will ever look for someone like me. I can make a copy of myself, young, like I am now. And she looks, this is going way over her head. This is like 6, 7-year-old girl, and he's just like, he's clearly needed someone to say this to for a long time, give out his plan, and he's just
monologue
sort of like,
a bit.
he needs to monologue because he's a true villain. So, he's just got going off on this one. And she's looking confused by the whole thing, and he's saying, Father, he's a bad person. He's a bad person, Nepatak. And she's again looking confused, looking like she's about ready to cry at this point. I don't seem to take any notice of you either, Laura, as you're in this chamber.
That's good.
Yeah. And he says, I'm going to make a copy of myself, and I'm going to send it into Neverwinter, and I'll be safe there. No one will know. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? And Nepatak is like, I don't know, I'm scared. Where's Mum and Dad? They're gone. Nepatak, they're gone. And you need to go to the Arcanum. And I'll keep you safe there. He begins to cast a spell. Again, opening up the book. And you see as Nepatak is sort of pulled down into the ground by undead hands. And they pull her down into the earth. And she goes as she kind of shrieks and looks very upset. Doesn't seem harmed in any way. She's just clearly being pulled.
Yeah.
It's like a really scary teleport.
Gotcha. Cool.
And you watch as he undergoes the transformation of Lichdom, and using this book from which he has learned the method to do so, he also creates a copy of himself, which is the first phylactery, another Ferris, essentially. And he sends that through a portal into Neverwinter. Now, this is a copy that will never grow any older than Ferris. It will always be this age. And so whilst Asarak is an ancient creature, and this is long ago from another world, Ferris has always been there, in the realms, potentially always in the college, or at least always walking around the Forgotten Realms, for the past 100,000 or so years, being Asarak's phylactery.
Fun.
Yeah. As you do so, as the Master of the Orb leaves this memory, Alora, you are now the Master of the Orb and control the Hydra Ras-Ni. As you come back out and into a moment.
Excellent.
Back on the boats.
Oh, well, good news is I'm now master of the Orb of Domination. I always liked domination. The bad news is that the Ferris you were speaking of, yes, he's definitely Nepatak's older brother, and apparently Ferris, the younger copy kid of him, is the phylactery. And it's like a copy of him, and I'll explain everything that I saw.
Essentially, the Ferris that you know is a simulacrum of the real Ferris, aka Asarak. A phylactery which will never grow older. It's been walking around for potentially 1,000 years or longer, living in this form. Potentially either in the same place, maybe he's travelled long. Even if he dies, he can't be truly destroyed because it is a phylactery. So, the Ferris you know is also one of Asarak's phylacteries. Also begs the question if this is the father is who you think it might be, based on Alora's description. How on earth this person, Marcus Pontimus, is still alive, because this would have happened at least 1,000 years ago.
Well, that's lots of information.
Because when I met the girl, she asked me where I learned my new tricks, and I said Ferris. I said I learned them from Ferris, and she didn't know who that was.
She was very confused when the whole undeath thing came about. Maybe something happened to her. Maybe a part of that section of the brain that involves memory is damaged. In the fire.
She was under some type of control as well. There were things she couldn't say. She admitted as much to me.
Plus, did she call him Ferris? Maybe he just took on a new name. After 1,000 years, I'd change my name at least once.
It would get old, wouldn't it?
Especially if, everybody knew that this kid named Ferris killed his parents, I'd probably want to change it to something nice like
right?
John.
And more than that, if he's been hiding out in the college for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, then he can't go by the same name on roll call every day. Somebody's going to figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of this is
cracked it,
really
Rufus.
not adding up.
Well, I'm glad this information is helpful to you all. It seems that you are very interested in it, and information's kind of my thing. So,
So you now control the orb,
Yes.
and therefore you control the Hydra.
yes.
The orb gave you visions and
Yes.
told you that Ferris is the phylactery
Yes.
that's been around for this lich.
Yes.
And he turned into a lich because he wants to save his sister. He killed.
I believe he wanted to turn to a lich to save himself because a bunch of mages were after him because he was powerful and couldn't control it.
I see, and his sister was just collateral.
Collateral,
I
yes.
I see.
But a point of attachment for him, which, is something. Everyone likes something.
Well, do you think Ferris knows he's a phylactery?
Probably. I would
What a
assume.
little lying shit.
That's what I was trying to tell all of you.
Yeah, Alora, you would probably know from having gone through this experience that Ferris, being the simulacrum, has all of the powers that Asarak had at that age, meaning that he's a master of illusion, deception, could probably go by many different forms throughout different ages, different names, different places, teleport around. So, I mean, you're basically just... all you have to do is stay alive for 1,000 years. It's unlikely you to stay at the College of Mages for that long. You probably just, spend a little vacation in Sholt every now and again, come back and chill out, and then, Back to the Hydra.
that. Yes.
As you quickly fire off these revelations to the rest of the group, you return to Rasni, the five-headed Hydra. I see you have the orb.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now, just a matter of destroying it.
Yes, could you please show us the proper way to go to get to the flag trees?
Once you've destroyed that orb, of course, yes, as per our agreement.
I try to make him show us where it is.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check. You can have
Okay.
advantage on this one.
Ooh, that's nifty. That's 20.
Yeah. You say, show us the right tunnel, and you watch
Nice.
as Rasni's five heads begin to wrench in agony and just turn towards the tunnel in question. That one. You
Thank you. You are such a dear.
traitorous mortals.
Oh, we just wanted to make sure you help your end of the bargain.
Right, we're going to uphold our end of the bargain. We're going to destroy it. Do you know how to do that? Do we just smash it?
Give it here. I'll destroy it.
No. The deal was we would.
Yeah, you did ask us to
destroy it.
destroy it. Tell me how to destroy this thing, please.
Blow it up with magic.
Oh, okay, cool. So I can destroy it.
Sure.
Excellent. Yeah. Just gonna look over at everybody else like, do we destroy it?
It's all kind of up in the air at this
No,
moment.
I'm an honest man. We told this five-headed creature we was going to destroy his stones, and we're going to destroy this stone.
I mean, Rufus
But-
does have a point.
I completely agree with Rufus. The thing that we did not indicate, though, was a time frame.
It's true.
We will destroy it, but it might not be for a week or two.
I mean, it is kind of nice giving us all these visions of Ferris and stuff. Not that I like having visions of Ferris,
Well, you're
but
not the one having the visions, so I'm saving you that mental anguish. Welcome.
I mean, I do appreciate it.
They're quite disturbing, actually.
Rosny, I've got a question. When we free you from this control of the
Sooner
orb,
rather than later.
what exactly is it that you plan on doing with the rest of your Hydra life?
I will see where I find myself and start my kingdom anew.
You're not going to go kill lots of people, kill us.
Only those who would seek to harm me and my people.
Right.
And you said that the snake people were your people.
The Yuan-Ti.
Yes. Excellent.
Well, I've got to be honest. I'm in belief at this point you're either on the side of Asarak or you're on our side. And I feel like the Hydra is on our side. So I say we do the right thing. Because in the end, when you do the right thing, the gods, they will favor you. So I say we kill it. Or smash it, the rock, or blow it up, or whatever we want to do.
I have a spell that would destroy it, I believe.
Can we revisit this in a week. I think that this is something that we should do. I agree. Honor and all that things that you talk about. But speaking as someone who has survived this long, I think that maybe if we have a Hydra in our back pocket, especially with Valindra's Shadow Mantle coming down, we would hate for Rosny to begin his vacation and, begin his empire building before Valindra came down here. Because he might run away and not fight Valindra. We need him to kind of fight Valindra.
Yes, I do. I would think it'd be grand if Valindra came here. If you were just to fight her and tell her we went down a different tunnel, steer her in the wrong direction.
Tell her we hadn't even been here. You've not seen me.
He's like,
My Hydra control.
I will do it.
Thank you. You are such a dear, Rasmi. We'll definitely cross my heart for you. I just gotta, have a little insurance in my back pocket.
Rufus feels icky. I feel icky about this. I'm not controlling you, Mr. Hydra.
You're all terrible people.
No, I'm trying to be a good person.
Yes, we are. Elora,
Yes.
ask our good friend where Nepetax phylactery is.
Oh, yes. Do you know where Nepetax phylactery is?
The old squeegee sort of control. He's like, yes. Down the tunnel there. You will find it.
The same tunnel?
That is where the tunnel leads.
Convenient.
Nepetax has made sure of it.
Excellent. Well, her phylactery will be right next to us, the Sourax, then, apparently. Or Fenris, whichever.
Azarax isn't down there.
Well,
Azarax is walking around.
Not
Yeah.
have more than one. We don't know. We should just investigate. Yes?
Well, since you're not going to let me smash the orb, all we can do is go smash something else.
Alright, let's go
Agreed.
smash a phylactery. We'll smash this soon.
Fine.
I promise, Mr. Hydra. I promise you, I'll smash it.
Treacherous mortals.
No, I'm trying
Have
to...
a nice day!
Yeah, you too.
I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Hydra.
I'm just pushing her boat. Oh, his
You will
boat
all
down.
be punished by the gods.
No. We're trying to work with... I'm working with the gods. Rufus.
He
No! Oh, Farron will come over and be like, Rufus, it's not your fault, okay? We're gonna do what we said. Zephyr's right. We never told him when we were gonna smash it, so we're not doing anything wrong.
It feels kind of tricky and icky.
I'll pull my boat over and put my hand on one of his massive thighs
Oh, Lord.
and say, "Don't worry, Rufus. Everything will be fine. He's just a bit prickly. Dying will do that to you and all. He'll feel much better as soon as we've freed him, which of course will be at our nearest convenience. But Zephyr is completely right. We need to make sure that, what was her name? Visindra?
Valindra.
Valindra
Right.
is stopped, because if she comes and gets us, then, well, we won't be able to harm a Sivarak, and he would still be trapped here. You know what I mean? It would be awful.
I know. I know exactly what you mean. Is it hot in here again? And he starts kind of fanning himself because your hand's on his thigh. He goes, nobody touches my thighs but Farron. I can't even touch my thighs.
Oh,
even I don't touch my phone.
I should look over at Fair and kind of be like, oh, I don't mean to intrude.
Oh no, I mean, she doesn't touch my thighs. Rufus goes back. I mean, she just...
Oh, so listen here. You know how Rufus, you can probably tell he chafes a lot, and he
I was
also
actually much chafing, yes.
Rufus turns red as you talk about his chafing. The lady he has a crush on.
So does Farron. And she's like, Rufus can't really bend over all the way either, so I just kind of help get it whenever he gets a rash. I help him out a little bit. It's a
That
purely
is
friendship.
so kind of you. You are such a good friend.
I only do that because he just has so many muscles everywhere that his eyes are so strong. Like, he doesn't know what-
Yeah, Rufus is like hyperventilating between the anxiety and stress of the scene.
I'm going to leave you two to catch your breaths, maybe lose a little color in your face, and I'll mess with this, and just make sure this orb is safe. And I'll kind of like push the boat back away, so I'm near the back with Zephyr now, and let them breathe. Fresh air.
Sorry, Rufus. I was trying to. I don't know what I was trying to do.
It's okay, Farron. It's all right. I've never been really good with people in no house. It's not anything new. The sweating and the fires and the chafing and the stuttering with the ladies. It's just,
We're just gonna have more practice, Rufus. We just haven't been out in the real world for a long time. We'll get there.
You're right. I just have to practice on the next time I see a Hydra, I guess. Practice on somebody else.
Laura, as she pulls up next to Zephyr, kind of pushes her boat back. Are they always like that?
Very good friends? Yes, as long as I've known.
I've been told that the flustered and they don't talk to people often.
I have questions about you,
Oh,
your involvement here.
yes.
I've found that it's beginning to make me think a bit about exactly why you've done everything that you've done.
Yes.
Your father sent you here.
Yes, he did. He's very
Yeah,
in tune with politics and world affairs and such.
Did he know?
Yes.
And how did he know we were here?
Oh, I didn't know you all were here. I was just told to go to this dark arcana.
And who did you... Which gate did you come into? You came into the old man's gate?
Well, which gate did I come in through?
Yeah, you came through Stormfinger's gate.
I came up Stormfinger's fellow. Doesn't live up to the name.
You came in through Stormfinger's gate. Interesting.
He says something in Primordial to Alora. And what he says is Stormfingers working for you, Valindra?
I don't understand what you... Does that what language is that? I speak Elvish, Common, Dwarven, and Draconic. That is not one of those four. Four is an awful lot for most people.
Drop the orb.
What?
Give it to Rufus.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
He can put it in his...
Yeah, you can put it in my barrel. You can, put your rock in my barrel.
Alright. Why is this required? Out of curiosity.
Because I'm curious myself.
I feel like something's going on I don't understand, Farron. What happened? While I was cooling off.
Yeah, Zephyr just started speaking and he started going.
I didn't understand.
Do you have something in your throat, Zephyr?
No.
Will
Let's
you get me
just,
some water, and she'll like scoop up some water, some of the nasty water, and use prestidigitation to clean it. And she's like, "Do you need some of this?"
No, I'm all right.
Well, I just cleaned
Let's
it for you.
watch Alora.
All right.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. If it makes you feel better, Alora, you can put your stone in my barrel. Zephyr, we'll watch it. We'll make sure nothing happens.
If it makes Zephyr feel better, then certainly. Let me just wrap it in something first. It's funky.
Yeah, we don't want it rolling around.
Yeah, I'll pull like a nice handkerchief out or scarf or something. Wrap it all up. Stick it in the barrel.
There you go.
Is it just like an open top barrel, like strapped to your back? Oh,
Yeah, it's like an open top barrel. That's my backpack. Yeah. I guess you drop it in, it goes clunk. Probably it's like straight to the bottom.
Rufus does like a little shimmy, and he's like, "I'll settle to that."
Yeah, all right.
I'll give him a little boop on the nose.
Oh, he blushes.
The boats are approaching destination, coming up to a beach, and the final two bells of your boats ring out as you come to what seems like the final stop, because there is no further way to go on here. As you reach the beach, you see that behind, in front of you rather, the complete opposite of what I said, there is the same house that Alora saw, which was burnt down. It's a farmhouse, and it's the same one. Clearly this is the one which Nepatek died in, and then was later resurrected by her brother, Ferris, aka Asarak. From out of the burnt farmstead, as your boats beach themselves and you can step out, you see that stepping out once again is the young boy, Ferris. You recognize this to be the same one that you've known for a little while now, those of you who have been involved in the College of Mages. He looks out at you. He's got a wand in his hand, dark, bone-looking wand. I wondered when you'd turn up. Took you long enough.
You have been a bad boy. We know your secrets.
Yeah, I know. Nepatak showed you. That's her job. Didn't really think it would end up like this, though. I guess at that time I hadn't really thought things through. I've had a lot more time since then, though.
How did you think things would end up?
That's a good question.
Well, I guess at first I thought that I just needed to survive. After the accident. They were going to kill me, and I couldn't have that, so after I found the book, well, it was simple enough to create a simulacrum of myself and then send this version, the phylactery, to the Forgotten Realms, which is far away from my homeworld. They'd never find me there. So I just lived for about 1,000 years or so, going from place to place, learning magic, meeting people here and there, but mostly just furthering my work. Meanwhile, I was up to other things in my real body.
Right. You know, you could have done like most people and just said you're sorry and that it was an accident. And then, you know, there's an opportunity for us as humans to say, you know, we accept your apology. And then you wouldn't have had to, you know, do these evil things and raise your sister from the dead. And now you wouldn't be a lich. You could have lived a normal life and your soul could have gone to the light.
Well, alright, but I lied. I wanted to kill them.
Well, now see, you got to stop lying because it skews the story.
I always wanted them dead.
Well, Ferris, why did you want them dead?
Everyone is so annoying. Life is so pointless. They
You
were
didn't
very
want her dead.
No, not her.
And therein lies your mistake.
Now I know that.
Well, that doesn't really make sense if that's your reason, because if it's just because people are annoying and life is pointless, then you wouldn't have cared that you killed her too.
Yeah, you could have just killed yourself. That's what most people do.
When she died... When she died, a part of me died. I tried to bring her back, and bring her back I did. She wasn't the same, and by then, the book had twisted me. I mean, I won't lie. I don't feel anything anymore, whatsoever. I don't feel empathy or sympathy or care for anything but furthering my own goals, which are power over life and death.
You could redeem yourself. Release your sister.
Redemption is far, far away for something like me. And I am
That's
only a simulacrum of what I am. This version that's talking to you now is Asarak when I was 13 years old before I even became Asarak.
Then, let the girl go.
Let her
Never.
go.
I will never.
Who cares?
I will never let you take her away from me.
We don't want to take her.
It's not that we want to take her, Ferris. It's that she doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't even remember you. I talked to her about you. She didn't know who you were.
I keep her that way.
Why? If you love her and she's your sister, let her move on. Let her pass.
Because knowing me, well, then she'd know that I killed her.
Yes, but in that truth is a level of redemption that only that is not given by magical powers or some demon book. It's given by humanity.
This.
By being, you may be dead and she may be dead, but you have an opportunity to right your wrong. Let her go.
You don't understand. There is no opportunity. There is no choice anymore. This body is a simulacrum. I am owned and possessed by Asarak, and at the same time I am him. There is nothing in his heart anymore, even though there may be some left in mine. I have no choice. You must all die, because you're going to destroy me, and in turn, destroy her.
No, it's not destroying, it's freeing. We're gonna free her. We're gonna free you.
I'm going to kill you.
Okay, you can try.
All right. And as he says that, she goes, "Well, how about we team up and join powers instead? Join forces."
That sounds like a good idea. I'm glad you could make it, Valindra.
And I will. I will also mage hand, whoop the orb right back outside of Rufus's open top barrel.
No! No!
And
Can I grab it? Can I make a dex to grab it?
At this point, he says, "Kill them. Kill them all." And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Learn by Play.
Yo!
I almost apologized to Lindy. I almost apologized to Lindy, and I knew it.
even better than you know.
All a little bit too convenient, little Laura showing up here just in the nick of time. Oh, what a shame. But hey, that was a fun episode, my friends. We learned a lot about our story, about our phylacteries, about our villain Asarak, and hey, we got a big fight to head into next week, my friends. So get ready for it. If you enjoyed tonight's show, let us know. Same time every week, 6 p.m. Eastern is when we air these shows every Saturday, so join us for those. And if you enjoyed this show, you can come drop us a follow over at Encounter Roleplay, which is where we're from. Come over and join us. Drop us a follow if you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you guys over there. But let's go around to cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Lindy, thank you so much for joining us tonight in our guest player spot. Excellent job, but playing along with the party, and an excellent twist at the end there as Valindra is with us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, how was it?
Lots of fun. I had a blast. This is an awesome group of people. Love these guys so much. They are so fantastic to bounce off the RP with. There's many interesting things that happened. Learned a lot from all the visions and stuff. I feel like a lot got accomplished today, but it was still a lot of fun, and there's gonna be a really grumpy Hydra later. Yeah, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter.
Thanks so much, Lindy. Great job. Sid!
Oh yeah, I'm not muted. Hi. Hello. Oh, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, that was interesting. A lot of twists are happening. Yeah, you can go follow me on Twitter at Sydniac. I will link it in the chat. I also linked Lindy's a little bit earlier if you want to go check her stuff out. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm also the Dungeon Master for Wonder Quest podcast. It's a high fantasy D&D fun shenanigan type of thing. So you can follow that here at Wonder Quest Pod. I will also link that in the chat. And I play Ari on Turncloaks, which is a podcast that we do. It's me, it's Will, it's a bunch of other people having a bunch of fun, sad times. So you can check that out as well. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thanks. Sid, Greg, same question for you.
I knew it. I'm just gonna say I knew it. I Absolutely. No, I'm joking. I had such a great time. Playing with these three people and being DM'd by this guy, I couldn't ask for a better way to spend a Saturday night. Fantastic. Chat was on fire. Love interacting with you guys. Love being here on Wizards of the Coast. It is this old little boy's dream come true each and every Saturday. You can find me on the Twitches and the Twitters at Grimjack21502. In the upcoming week, we will be Cthulhuing on my channel. I will be Simbarooming on Unmade Gaming. And coming soon on mine, Conan and Firefly, for anybody that wants to do some of those things. But how about we meet back here next week from 6 to 9 Eastern and learn a little bit more to play? I think that would be the great way to do it. Let's do it.
Thanks so much, Greg. And then last but not least, Chelsea.
Yep, as always, it is never a dull moment over here on Learn by Play. So yeah, I too am always humbled to come, role play with these awesome people, play under Will, and to even just be on D&D's channel. So if you like what I'm putting down, I play in a lot of games all over the place. I'm in a Princess of Apocalypse campaign right now. I'm playing through a Tomb of Horrors, an updated Tomb of Horrors, actually with Miss Lindy down there for One More Friday. So you can actually go straight to my Twitter, which I'm sure Sid will drop in chat for you guys, and you can find my schedule there, as well as links to my personal Discord and to the podcast that I'm a part of called North by Northwest. So thanks for following.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. So it was another fun episode. Next week we'll have Tool School and Miguel back with us. So fear not, but thank you, Lindy, for joining us today. Excellently done, everybody, and we'll see you guys real soon. No Heroes Graveyard tonight, I don't think. I don't see it on the lineup. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I haven't seen anything about it, so I don't know. But
No, they said it was
cancelled. Cancelled for today. There you go. News. But more shows on the lineup soon, and you can join us over in Encounter Roleplay and all of these guys' channels and chats for plenty more role-playing action. Until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones. We want to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.